Alright, hey guys, Fiddle Fetid here, and welcome back to another episode of Mutiny. So, first of all, as usual, let me apologize for this episode being super late. I have been busy, and I don't know, I love playing visual novels, but it's a whole different ball game coming in to sit and record a visual novel. Um, Mostly, obviously, because the main thing is I don't usually read out loud when I play them on my own. And if I'm like tired or even just randomly, sometimes I'm just awful when reading them. And I know when I'm bad, and then I see comments saying I'm bad, and it's like, I know I can't let them get to me, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I don't want to put out a bad video. So if you feel like I'm not reading very well, then I don't feel like recording anything. But anyway, I've kind of got back into it. I really have felt like playing Mutiny for a while. And so we're going to do this for this episode. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to chill and play. And this could be a very, very long episode as long as this all goes well. Because my plan pretty much is to maybe even make this an hour if I can sit here that long without my voice giving way. Because there's been too many times when I haven't finished a visual novel. And so I'd really like to do at least one arc of this. I'm not going to finish this whole game. Not even close. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty long game. But we're going to play some more. I'm hopefully going to be putting out some more episodes. They're going to be really long. Um, Hopefully. And so this is really just for the people that really want to see me play more. You can go back. You don't have to finish the episodes all in one. But we're going to go ahead and just get stuck into this and see what we can do. And sorry if my voices aren't going to be as good as usual, because I honestly am they're probably all going to change a little bit. And plus there's so many, it's kind of hard to keep track. Descending turns out a far sight easier than going up, as it would seem. The engine climbs down to its usual soft, near imperceptible hum as the ship turns. Ugh, I hate going back down again. My stomach hurts. It's not what that said at all. Alcina wakes up from her ill-fitted nap, groaning and slumping away. Rest time for everyone. Then I'll do the rounds of the ship. Night has begun to fall by the time the crew is close to getting back to the port city. I'm going to have to get used to sleeping on a moving ship. How to spend my night.
Hi, Captain. What are you doing up here alone?
I'm hardly alone. Laura's up there in the crow's nest. They both look upward, but all that can be heard is a snoring, and all they can see is maybe a twitching foot hanging over the lip of the nest. On second thought, I suppose it is rather lonely. Fu perches beside her captain, looking up and wagging her tail. Grace smirks and begins to pet her.
Yay!
Say, Fu, tell me about yourself.
About me? What do you want to know?
That's a rather loaded question. I don't know what I want to know. You haven't told me anything about you.
Oh, that makes sense.
It does?
Well, my name is Fu, you know that. I was teeny weeniest of my family when we were all little, so they told me to go adventuring.
Go adventuring?
Yeah, they said I wasn't big or bright enough to make it living with them, so I should go out on my own and figure something out.
Her tail is still wagging cheerfully as she's petted, but a frown slowly spreads across Grace's face. Do you ever feel like they were abandoning you?
Why would I ever feel that? They're my family. They wouldn't do that.
Sure, sounds like it though.
What about you?
Oh, family? I grew up, well, went to school, got bored. My mothers and sisters still write occasionally, but I left home a long time ago.
Sounds nice.
So, anything else about you?
I think bullies are the absolute worst.
But you can't even tell when you're being bullied.
My favorite food is donuts, but Elizabeth says it's not good for me to have too many.
That is true, but I think a little chub is cute. Okay, wait a minute. Knowing this game, when we say chub, what are we talking about? Because that could go many different ways. Foo squeaks and giggles when her hips are giving a squeeze, smiling earnestly. She's so unbelievably good-natured, it's unreal.
I came to the ship a while ago when I was still looking for work. I can't read or write, so there wasn't much I could do. The old captain tripped over something and I caught her when she fell. She said I was perfect for her first mate material and brought me on board.
Do you miss her?
Not really. The next crew member to come along was Bree. I'm pretty sure almost the same thing happened, and she even offered her first mate.
She pouts a little at this point, until head scratches resume.
Although, she didn't accept it, but I was already first mate. The ex-captain was like that for most of the stuff we did. It was fun, but it wasn't,
She falters for the word, struggling.
I don't know. It was fun, but it wasn't the best. Then she picked you. Did you also catch her when she tripped over?
No. I feel like this has left me with a few more questions than answers.
Yeah.
No life goals? Anything like that?
Lots of cuddles and some pups for my own one day. But not yet. I'm not ready yet.
I don't think anyone knows exactly when they're ready. Don't worry about it.
I never worry about stuff. That's time that could be spent being happy.
That's unconditionally the sweetest thing I have ever heard. And also slightly impractical if I do say so myself, but you know, I'm one of those persons that worries constantly about everything. So that life lookout wouldn't exactly work very well for me. Is there anything you don't do well then?
The reading and writing stuff.
She fidgets on the spot.
And spiders.
Spiders? She shivers and whimpers, looking around as though the word alone would summon some unholy horde of critters.
They have so many legs and are super scary, I can't help it.
That's okay. Everyone has something they're afraid of. Attachments, hurting people, loneliness, death, life, the cold, the warmth, no silence.
Even you.
Except for me. Nothing scares me. Life's one big adventure. Admittedly, it's only very recently that I've gotten particularly adventurous, though.
Is that why you decided to be a captain?
I didn't get the choice in regards of being in charge, but I suppose I could have ditched you all.
I'm glad you didn't.
Grace smiles, feeling far more at ease. You're also delightfully talented at least one thing that immediately comes to mind.
I am?
Yep. You're talented at making people feel better. Oh wow, that is not what I thought was happening at all. I thought we were about to start saying how she has an ample... Never mind. Moving on. She beams a bright, joyful smile and tilts her face to kiss the hand that's patting her.
Thanks. I promised Elizabeth I'd help her carry some stuff and clean some stuff and more stuff. Bye.
You sure do change gears quickly.
Have a good night.
The cheerful dog girl heads inside the ship, letting out a soft yip of surprise. There's some cluttering and thumping, followed by a muffled voice shouting. I don't remember which one this is. Oh, I think this is the... not the horse girl, but the other girl that's kind of like a horse, but not. SPHINX girl. Get your bum off my face or I'll bite.
Oops, sorry about that. I slipped or tripped and landed on you and... I warned you. My bum.
Correct. Now hurry along before I bite something else. This girl. This girl, the tsundere girl. There's more grumbling before the door to the inside of the ship opens, revealing a disheveled... I think we were calling her Anna. I played too much Overwatch, clearly. Anna adjusting her top. Ditzy mutt. Be nicer to the poor thing. She's really fond of you. That dog's really fond of everyone, except Rhea, I suppose. Probably the legs. To her credit, Anna doesn't wilt beneath the staring. Be that as it may, I can't help but notice you don't seem to enjoy this much. Can you blame me? Kind of. Why be a sailor or a pirate or whatever if you don't actually enjoy it? Anna fidgets uncomfortably, clearing her throat. Okay, I don't hate it here per se. I just didn't choose this life. How so? Anna sighs, shifting from foot to foot and thinking to herself for a little. I'm a princess. Wait, seriously? Yes, albeit, deposed. Deposed? The Sphinx groans, stewing in her discomfort a little bit more. Is that so important right now? I got into some argument with some important people. I did some things I shouldn't. And then there was a teeny coup. The ex-captain was in town when the whole matter went down. Since I had so much heat on me at the time, it was easier to run away. No going back? Anna scoffs, looking legitimately frustrated. Don't be ridiculous. Run was the wrong word. It was a tactical retreat. The captain keeps her face vigilantly impassive. I see. So, when do you plan on returning and claim your birthright? I haven't decided yet. Excuse me, I have to burp, but it's not there. Oh, there we go. Excusez-moi. It doesn't feel like the right time. I need to prove I'm better than them. Well, I suppose vast riches would certainly make you look more important. The overly proud Sphinx wilts a little once more. It's not about looking important. Somehow, I've got to be more important. I've got to be better. Apparently, adventure is the best way to learn by experience. So, this is all just one big learning journey for you. I suppose so. Oi, oi, that's okay, you know. This is all new and interesting to me, too. I'll learn and change. Well, change but not improve. Can't improve perfection after all. Grace performs her own self-satisfied smile, puffing her chest up. More perfect than me? I doubt it. But I suppose we all have to strive for something. Yeah, we're doing so well. Seems you've cheered up at least. Dunno. It seems to me that maybe you needed to get that off your chest. Next comes the part where you throw yourself dramatically into my arms, right? Don't be so sure. Also, it's good to know that you won't immediately be leaving to go become Queen Kakra. For some reason, these words send a delighted shiver throughout her body. Like the sound of that, do you? She blinks back to reality, gnawing on her bottom lip. Shut up! You're an idiot, Captain. I'll be sure to call you Queen in the bedroom. The poor thing is immediately overwhelmed by the verbal onslaught, and she backs away a step. This hardly seems... I should go and do something. It's been far too long since I've graced the others with my prowess. Leaving already? but I'll be all alone during a cold, cold night. And I've just realized I didn't check any of those cannons after our first encounter. That... See you later, Captain. That... What was that last bit, Dana? Thanks for the talk. Jeez. So I guess we call her Dana instead. That makes more sense. Dana pads off, grumbling to herself. Grace turns her attention to the rest of the deck, peering around. I suppose I'll have to check on those cannons. Glad I have a book on this. Grace has a little stretch. Soaking in the calm of the water, Laura somehow continues her snoring, apparently unbothered by any shouting. If I see Rhea, I'll have her come and get Laura. I suppose she'll catch a cold sleeping up there. Ta-da! Oh, let's see. It's the work of a few moments. What did that say? It's the work of a few moments to hunt out the next batch of small boating books out of Alcina's collection. She gives them up with only modest grumbles. Feeling a lot more confident in herself, the captain wanders back topside, fingering through pages. That's not the only thing she's fingering. Haha, ba-doom-tsh! It's there that she notices Bree peering around. Oi, horse girl. Check the knots of these cannons. They have knots. They had better. They're... you fired them before, right? Well, not me personally, but, how do I know if the knots are any good? 1 second. Grace reaches into her coat and pulls out a book on knots. It's underestimated how literal Alcina's collection is. How did she get all this stuff? She takes a quick flip through of the pages until she's found something that looks useful. Here, untie that knot and retie it. Now make a loop, flop it over, and pull the loop through itself. Okay, so, like this? That looks good to me. Prime it and fire a load of powder. Huh? You want to test it like that? Aye, get it ready. Bree looks up at the captain with her eyes like a forlorn puppy, and realizes instantly that her silent plea will be unheard. I'll get the gunpowder, Captain. She walks away with weak knees and returns with a small bag of black powder. She loads the powder into the barrel, strikes the flint and the fuse, and once it sparks, she covers her ears and takes an enormous stride back, and watches as the knot slips and the cannon careens backward across the deck until it crashes through the port railing. Captain! Oh shoot, what was her voice? I need to remember her voice. Her voice was really important. Captain, what was all that about? And with that, the horse girl collapses upon the deck like a sack of stiff rags. Her eyes gloss over and peer off into the afterlife. That was actually kind of funny. Okay, help. Bree lies in a hammock below deck. After reassurance from the rest of the crew that such events are commonplace, the captain chooses to wait by her side. It's been an hour since the cannon incident, and she has yet to recover from her dire shock. Her breath is weak and her pulse is a little faint. As far as the captain can tell, she isn't going to miraculously wake up anytime soon. Ooh, excuse me, I'm just burping in my mic now. Grace flips another page in her novel, settling onto a chair. The rest of the crew shamble around, doing whatever it is they can do in their free time. There's nothing much else to do right now, except wait for the chance to apologize and learn what had gone wrong. How could someone so afraid of cannon fire become a crew on a pirate ship? The past few days may have been a little trying, but surely this girl would have fled from the ship the instant she got a chance. Then again, if she's this flighty, perhaps her nerves got the better of her, got better off her and escape as well. Grace mulls over these thoughts for a while, considering perhaps to let Bree off when they make it to port. Perhaps give her a chance at living on land. Fu did mention that she was picked up, but pretty much the same on-the-cuff way. Maybe she was unwilling? Grace's fancies turned to Bree clinging to Flotsam, saved by a pirate crew who sees her as more than labor. Probably not how it went down. Fun to think about, though. Oof. Maybe there's a novel hidden in this somewhere. Ooh, such valiant rescue. Before turning the next page and returning to her smut, Grace takes another look at the questionable horse girl. Bree remains in her hammock without any change. She just lies there in a heap of weary bones and taut muscles that Alcina had carried down here. That look should suggest a tourist rather than a pirate. Perhaps an eye patch would do her well? Or a pierced ear at least. That would really help pirate her up a bunch. She does have quite adorable ears though. A bit of jewelry wouldn't hurt her. Though she may need to sleep. She may need to be asleep first. I bet she faints at piercings. Now, where was I? Ah, it's almost the fire swallower scene. It's been a good month since I kept myself warm with this particular tale. Will you be waking up anytime soon, Miss Bree? Hell, perhaps you'd wake up if I read it to you. Let me begin then. Grace clears her throat and adjusts her seat. Now then, Vlaji, free from the vines that had been restrained her ever-eager body, leapt toward Herc's bosom with a fierceness only seen in those which had given their soul to... Gah! With a cry of shock, Bree rolls out onto the ground in a heap. That worked way faster than I expected to. Jeez, I didn't even get to the good part. So, are you okay? But, understood, Miss Bree. Bree continues her stammering as a blush creeps upon her face, and she takes a hold of her entire body. I'll put the book away, don't worry. Now, is there anything else I can do to help you recover? I don't even know how I'm supposed to read that. Couldn't comprehend that, sorry. Could you just point if that would help? Bree slowly lifts herself off the floor and regains what composure she had. I'm okay. Good to know. Grace extends her hand to the prone girl and Bree takes a hold of it. As Grace stands from her seat, Bree slowly brings her legs underneath herself and places her weight onto her feet until she is standing tall once more. Sorry about all that. Not exactly what I expected to happen there, that's for sure. Have the cannons been fixed? Sincerity... Don't... What am I even saying? Sincerely don't know that. I understand why people say I can't read. There's like certain things that just trip me up. Have a drink for me? Maybe a drink of water will somehow help me to magically read and not be an idiot. Don't know that. I've been down here with you. I hope they are. I asked one of the others to get on that. I picked one of the ones who have actually fired a cannon before. Oh, I see. Sorry for letting you down again. Again? Nah. Bree nearly jumps into the air as she recoils from her mistake. It's not hard for the captain to see if the poor thing could run away and hide forever. She'd be long gone. It's fine. I don't know what things went on between the last captain and her crew, but that's not my concern. The captain isn't your current captain. Clear? So, you never fired a cannon? Bree clutches the front of her dress with both hands, as if the dress would strangle her otherwise. Never. I always hid down here when the cannons were firing. I couldn't handle it. You did surprisingly well with hiding all of your prior nervousness. All come bubbling to the fore at last, huh? Well then, take solace in the fact that you're retired from the pirate's life. I have no more plans to fire the cannons except when my hand is forced. Yes, Captain. What do you do on the ship if you're not the type of combat? Um, Sometimes I help Elizabeth with cooking, and sometimes I lift stuff when Alcina is asleep. Anything else? No, I don't think that's 100% true, dear. Well then, I don't think I'm going to get a straight answer from you anytime soon, but when you're ready, I'd like you to tell me why you're on board the ship. That's when you're ready. More important, there's work to be done. I'll expect you on deck later on. I promise no cannons, but I'll be sure to find something for you to do.
Hi, Captain. What time is it now?
Right now, midnight. You've been recovering for a time now, and I dare say it's time for you to recover more than your nerves.
Yes, I mean,
Now, I'm off to bed. Don't expect to get off lightly. With that, the captain departs. Bree chooses not to see the horse girl's reaction and simply walks up the stairs to the top deck. From behind, she can hear Elizabeth immediately fretting away. She'd been fluttering at the sidelines the entire time.
You simply must eat. Come, I even found a few carrots.
Okay. I've got faith, I think. Let's take this baby to the depths. Sounds good, you all. It's not like we've got too much of a choice. Laura, that's the girl in the crowd. No offense, Cap, but you do know what it means to go underwater in this? I did a bunch of reading. Turn on engine, make atmosphere bubble, go under the anchor, and stay straight. Some stuff, profit. More than me, then. Awesome! Once everyone's split off into their duties, the captain leans on the railing, stifling a yawn. Not missing sleep again, are you, Captain? Aw, worried about me?
No, it was just a question.
The Sphinx girl grumbles and glares, which only serves to make teasing her all the more fun. You'd keep me safe for some mean old pirates, wouldn't you, Dana? You're so lovely and strong after all. Of course I'm strong, but I don't agree with lovely. That's not right at all. Grace smirks, running fingers through the blushing girl's hair before nodding. I almost said noddling. What is noddling? It's not even a word. If you say so. I think we're actually going to get bothered by pirates again. It takes Dana a few moments longer to get herself together. A deep breath takes her. A deep breath later, she simply shrugs. It's not unlikely, but nobody dangerous, and no more than one ship moving on its own. The Navy would stomp anything larger than something I clicked too soon. Fair enough. See you up there. Oh, she was calling up. On calling up to the crow's nest, the little form of Laura peeks over the rim before waving. There's one ship. I'll keep an eye on them while we go. I'll have Elizabeth bring you some coffee. I mean, it'd be really nice if you could bring me some dick while I'm up there too. It's really fucking boring, but whatever, coffee works too, I guess. Laura lets out a little cheer, waggling her bum happily. Thank you! But just remember the whole dick thing. And now, rather more caffeinated fairy lets out a groan of annoyance not more than an hour later. Oh, Captain! Their ship started closing in on us, and it's too early to start flying. I can see skulls and fucking shit. Well, let's send them packing. So protect the ship for 5 turns. Wait, is this like massive ship right next to us? Also, I can't fucking remember what any of this does. Shoot the enemy to knock them out. Let's shoot first. Alrighty. Did they do anything? shoot again? How about we... I don't know. Swerve and shoot? What is even happening right now? Ow! Fuck! Don't brace for impact! Like, do I get a bonus for, like, trying to take them out? Open fire! I think once I survive that, I can just escape. Everyone on deck lets out a collective sigh. That sure showed them. Is everybody okay? Just a few light scrapes. They won't be bothering anyone anymore. Shouldn't we go salvage them? Grace sighs and ponders. No, we'd have to finish them off properly, getting close and then spend a long time. I don't really plan on being that ruthless. Let them limp to dock or wait until the Navy grabs them. Also, there's no point in making an enemy for life. Ugh, they had all the gall to attack us, and we're just letting them off easy. We have the power to let them off easy. Domination's no simple game. What was... Oh, excuse me. What was that? Nothing! I'm going to go and see if there's anything to repair. Oh, dear. Once the deck is clear of people, the captain perches on the rail. Deep breaths. That wasn't so bad. I might have a nap myself. The ocean gets a lot choppier the further on the mutiny travels. Soon it's enough to wake the captain from her impromptu nap. Oh, hello. You're naked. The thing is like, I don't know if I can show this on YouTube. Like, it's weird with YouTube. Like, breasts in a game, like, sometimes it's not a big deal. As long as it's not, like, outright sex, I don't think it's really a problem, per se. I'm probably gonna try and censor it anyway, but, you know. Anyway, let's continue on. Need more coffee. Ooh, I get to wear one of my swimsuits. Her mood is immediately improved by the revelation that goes for a... Her mood is immediately improved by this revelation, and she goes for a rummage through the cupboards. A soft knocking at the door draws her attention. It's almost hesitant. Which of my shy crew is it this time? Come in. The door swings gently open, and much to Grace's surprise, Dana is standing there. I shan't be what? Idiot! Why are you naked? Because I was asleep, dear. See anything you like? Yes, I do. I want to have sex with you. I love how this game unashamedly is like, we're gonna be like 50-part story and 50-part sex. We're gonna have story, and then when we want to, we're just gonna add in a sex scene, because who doesn't like a good sex scene? Am I right? Anyway. That's hardly romantic of you, Dana. Who says I have to be romantic? She harumphs and folds her arms. You're right, I shouldn't tease. Do you have a preference? The Sphinx's face goes slightly pink, and she looks away, twiddling her fingers. What kind of preference? Fighting the urge to sigh, the captain approaches slowly. After a few steps, the familiar swagger introduces itself. Don't worry, I'm thinking about it. I already know what you're after. Oh god, what is that face? She threads her fingers through Dana's hair before pulling her into a fierce kiss of passion. The response is a yelp at the back of Dana's throat that draws itself out in a low purr. Her nipples seem to glow hard, enough to be seen through her sheer fabric. Oh, good lord. You know, all this zooming in and out is it's just making this a pain to edit, is all this is doing to me. Just let me take care of everything. And that's probably gonna be a cut. If you guys want to see the smutty schmut, you'll have to see it elsewhere. Alright, I think we'll come back here. At least we'll give it a shot. I don't know if we're quite past it yet.
Hey, what are you doing?
Up you get, sweet stuff. It's time to get to work.
That's still
No kidding. Oh my god. Right, well, this looks rather promising, eh? The rest of the crew glance about in likewise confusion, forcing a sigh out of the captain. Okay, it looks like a massive patch of open ocean, but I'm sure that'll be just fine. Now then, we should have stuff for going underwater without the whole dying thing, right? The ship should be capable of doing that itself if we go under, sort of like flying, but down. The confusion on Grace's face seems clear as day, so Dana speaks up next, still looking rather flushed from her earlier encounter. If we use the engine to fly downward, it'll make a bubble and we can breathe in it and go under the water. Then it's only a teensy bit of swimming. Well, very well. We might as well stay unanchored and just sink ourselves down then. Bree, to the engine. The horse girl mutters something that sounds vaguely like concern about the engine's integrity, but does as she's told. She'd have panicked if it were actually that dangerous. How delightfully nerve-wracking. After a little waiting, there's a momentary terrifying crunch from below deck and the engine comes to life with a dull hum a few minutes later. Let's do this. The Mutiny lifts off and after a couple of seconds before dropping back into the water. It feels as though everything is still falling and a yelp of alarm creeps from Grace's mouth before the descent slows. That's kind of cool actually. Forming a perfect sphere around the Mutiny is a bubble that keeps the water at bay. Alarmed fish scatter and the ship passes into the depths. That is just incredible. Most of the crew appear too nervous to enjoy the experience of going underwater. However, at the very least, Grace, Laura, and Alcina seem to be either confident or just happy to leave their lives up to fate. The Mutiny doesn't travel particularly far down. The water is bright from the sun above, even as the ship reaches its destination depth. A worried Bree is soon seen on deck, looking mildly shaken.
Well, we're still alive, so that's a good start. We don't have to stay down here long, Captain.
Point taken. Any idea when the engines will give out? The horse girl twiddles her fingers nervously, avoiding eye contact.
Frankly, I'm rather surprised we are still alive right now. I can't say when the engine will give out.
Sod it. Hide. Anyone who's all ready to go and in their swimsuit, get ready to head out into the water. There are some shapes up ahead. Of course she's just naked. I don't even know if I can be bothered to censor that. By the looks of it, not moving shapes, which is good. Don't worry, don't want to end up getting eaten by sharks. I mean, we could get eaten out by sharks. That actually really seems like something we'd probably do, seeing as half of us are part animal anyway. But, you know, I'm not really into the whole vor thing. That sucks.
Sharks?
Are underwater pirates a thing? Nope! The naked fairy flutters in a circle, grinning.
I don't like this.
You don't like most things. Suck it up, sweetheart. The captain grins wickedly and gives Gree a pat on the head, looking a little smug with herself. Bree's nervous fidgeting only serves to make her look cuter in swimwear. Soon the rest of the assorted crew seems ready to go. Elizabeth has a few pills on her person to allow for breathing, or more specifically, to allow for not breathing whilst underwater. The only way forward is to go down the gangplank and walk out into the water so that everyone can swim. It would be dangerous to move the ship any more than it's already gone. Taking a deep breath, Grace is the first one to plunge through the bubble of atmosphere. There's a sudden sensory overload. The pressure changes immediately to a steady weight resting on her chest, which is now trying to float upward. She steps toward the sand, lungs already starting to ache and burn, just as unsettling by being underwater. While it's close enough to dive back to the ship's bubble, if needed, Grace lets go of her breath. It bubbles away and upward into the distance, but there's no impulse to breathe back in again, which, although a terribly discomforting sensation, seems just about as right for something so crazy. Likewise, the greater pressure seems to abate and it's a little easier to walk along the surface. Testing the theory, she's transitioned from swimming to stepping. Alcina, Bree, Laura, and Fu... I mean, I've got to be honest here. Why are there no bulges here? Why do we have no bulge? I mean, I feel like there should be. I'm pretty sure. I know with you, and I'm pretty sure with you. So, never mind. Although they seem to experience the same mild displeasure, they grow accustomed quickly. Her attempts at speaking are a waste. The sound is like a muffled vibration with nowhere to travel out of her voice. Her throat. Her voice? Laura tries to giggle, but it seems moderately painful judging from her wince. Right, can't make the lungs move. Good point. Alcina already steps ahead with a half-stroking step towards the shape in the distance. Perhaps just half a minute walking carries the group to the destination. It looks almost more marble mausoleum, though seaweed and mussels cling to it. What are we going to do here? Grace does a small circle of the mausoleum, looking for a point of any entrance. There are other structures near it, ruined towers by the looks of other things. It's as though this place just sank one day. Strange. Though, more than anything, she'd like to do some breathing, not because of any need, but because it just feels like the natural thing to do. Grace sighs in consternation. The captain is interrupted from her thought by a tug on her arm. The cute little naked fairy is there, grinning faintly. Her grin turns to a wordless yelp of surprise when she's given an amorous stroke by the captain. Before she sprouts... Her grin turns to a wordless yelp of surprise when she's given an amorous stroke by the captain before she pouts and points upward. Deciding to leave teasing a little thing... Why is this so hard? Deciding to leave teasing the little thing too much, Grace follows the direction the fairy's pointing. There's a gap in the wall of the mausoleum where it looks like it meets a roof. Maybe something in there. Swimming up to peek in the hole, it reveals nothing but darkness. Laura has no trouble at all swimming through the space. A few seconds stretch out into many amongst the distorted sound of being underwater. Just when it's starting to seem like something might have happened to the little Laura, the fairy comes out again, struggling to pull something after her. Alcina appears over Grace's shoulder, reaching into the hole to pull Laura through. She blushes a little at how much contact with the new little fairy. Laura smirks and wiggles in the bare woman's hand before revealing an ivory box. Looks valuable. The trio flash a thumb up and Laura begins to mime, pointing through the hole, then at the box, and spreads her arms open wide and smiles widely. More loot? Grace looks over the trio. Bree too seems amused, swimming up to the gap between the wall and the roof. Alright, fine. Smirking, the captain grabs Bree's feet, pushing her into the hole. Bree flails in alarm before disappearing into it. Fu attempts to follow, but her posterior gets stuck. That would be a lot more fun if I could shout heave-ho. Perhaps we can get something for being underwater and talking at the same time.
That wasn't funny, Captain.
Aw, come on, Bree. It was just a little push.
I nearly got stuck. What if I drowned?
Grace sighs wistfully, leaning on Alcina until the big bear is blushing. Oh, it would have been the most wonderful funeral. Don't you worry about it. Bree glowers and huffs, stomping a foot loudly on the deck. Still, it helps. Um, most of this is going to get into... is going... most of this is going into getting us planner worthy. You all did a great job. Even Alcina helped. Oh, we got an achievement. Woohoo! Alcina grumbles and heads back below deck, rubbing her neck. What did you find there? Good question. There are some old king's tombs and stuff. I was hoping this would be worth a lot, but... Grace holds up the ivory box, rattling the contents. Inside is nothing but a piece of pretty wood. One of the 580 pieces of broken spear of Queen Ilarion? Dana peeks out of nowhere, eyes big. Is it worth a lot? Kinda. It would be worth unimaginable quantities of wealth if you collected all of the spear, though. Oh, ooh, interesting. I think we'll end there. This has been a good session. Let's see if I am or am not allowed to have, like just casual, somewhat nudity without editing it, because I'm probably not going to edit all the fairy parts. But anyway, guys, I've been Fiddle Fair. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you do want me to keep continuing with this in these just really long episodes if you are enjoying it. Anyway, guys, I've been Fiddle Fair, and I will see you back on the prowl next time. Bye-bye.